And welcome into a new episode of the Paranormal Trucker. Check it out. Huh? Huh? I got my, I got
so
my,
you.
I got my antenna up.
It's so you.
Yeah. The son of a Snowman Large Marge, if you wouldn't mind entertaining for a moment.
Okay.
Sure.
You know that.
What are we entertaining about?
Well, we're gonna talk about that shark fin he's got on his head there.
I think that shark fin is very appealing.
I hope
We need to get him married off, you know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he didn't pay for that.
Well,
They probably get
he
money
needs
back.
his money back.
Yeah.
I think it looks very appealing to him.
Yeah.
You need to shake it up every once in a while anyway. It
Yeah,
all
I
gets
got-
old after a while.
I got me one here too.
When he walks, we'll do the na.
He probably get called out for it.
He's probably getting called out to work. Well,
Yeah.
what are we going to talk about? We got some emails today.
Yeah.
We get to talk about some emails. We haven't been online for a long time,
No.
and I know my fans were missing me.
And I'm gonna check and see if we got any email on this one.
All right, I'm back.
There we go.
I had that was the missionaries. They called me to see if I would be interested in I guess going on a mission.
The missionaries.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't really understand her. She was asking if I wanted to be on go on a mission or something. I was like, no, I'm in the middle of a podcast. Let me call you back.
Missionaries.
Yeah, but anyhow, most of you know me as Paranormal Trucker. Some of you know me as PT, but you can call me anytime.
There you go.
What do you think about that? That's game. GANE.
I think that's big anytime.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I just hope you didn't pay for that haircut.
Listen, if you all would have seen what it looked like a week ago, this is an improvement.
You look like you got a big nick out the side of your head.
Yeah, I think I do. So the hat will be going back on.
Oh, womp womp.
Yeah, it's not
Now,
really
all the
me.
women, their hearts are breaking.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really me. I do like. Don't get me wrong. If I were cool enough to pull off a mohawk, I would, but I'm not. But so we'll do this. We have been gone for a while. It has been a hot minute since we've been on.
Yeah.
Too long.
Well, winter's killed us.
Yeah, and that's kind of, it's the same old story. We're busy with work, and I will liken it to this. There is every job has a peak season where they're super busy, and that's just all it is. In the trucker wrecker business, that's what this is peak season. This is everybody gets stuck, everybody has trouble moving, everybody's wrecking.
We had some lousy weather.
We have had some terrible weather. We've had a major snowstorm. We've had major flooding. We've had another snowstorm. Now we've had an ice storm.
Yeah.
Plus more flooding. So yeah, it's been a little bit hectic here the last month or so. And then of course, Snowman and Large Marge both have their own stuff going on. They've been super busy with their work. And it's been super hectic. And again, no excuses, but we apologize for not being around.
And
what do you think about that?
We have been biting at the bit to get back into it.
Yeah.
That's true. Every time I call Snowman, I hear Large Marge's background. We were doing another podcast.
I know my fans are out there dying. I think I have a groupie, so I can't go without him.
You
I
do.
leave
He's
my
right here.
fan.
You do. He's right here.
I do. I have my
Hey,
big
buddy.
diesel man. Who's your diesel man?
Yeah.
Hey, dude. I'm doing
That's a
stuff.
big boy.
I'm doing stuff here. You got to go away.
Him a big boy. God love it.
Go back. Get on back. Go lay down. I'll be over in a minute. Go lay down. No. This is not laying down. Go lay down. Oh my God, he's getting so strong.
Yeah.
As you can see, I lost that fight.
Yes.
But anyway,
Yes,
so we'll
What you're gonna have to do is get a chair and sit right beside him and put him in the chair. That way he's in the frame.
he won't sit there and be still.
Well, do you give him an option? So
Get out of the mail. One.
So we got some emails.
Do what?
I said, so we got some emails.
Hang on.
oh,
Dum, da, dum, 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 dum. It's intermission.
yeah,
Da, 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 da.
he got up and that window was so bright. I thought I died and there was a light called me in.
There, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that. If we could just get our shit together, and by we I mean me, we could probably do pretty good at this.
We
Yeah.
probably could.
All righty. So no, yeah, we did get some emails. The one that stands out the most is from Firewater. Great big old fan of the show. And I will read it now for you. PT and crew, Firewater here. Happy New Year. Great podcast. Nope, sorry. This was one that we've already read. Hold on. See, again, let me get my shit together.
Yeah.
PT Snowman and Large Marge, Firewater here. Thanks for the gift card, the kick-ass hat, and keychains. Very cool swag. I hope you don't mind, but I put the Spooky Family pins on my hat so I can advertise you both. We certainly appreciate that. Anytime we are compared to the Spooky Family, it makes me very happy.
That's a compliment.
Yes.
It is a compliment. PT, I know you're an aviation enthusiast, so I wanted to share this with you. Check out the MQ-25. A lot of people mistake this for a UFO because it can actually hover. If you want to know more, I'll share. There's a lot of different aircraft that people don't know about. Keep on trucking, Firewater. So yeah, the MQ-9 is a unmanned aerial refueler, which is pretty cool. Essentially, we're doing more and more with drones, and that's what this is. Essentially, is just a very large drone. It's pretty cool.
And it
So
does refueling in midair.
Yes, and if you get a chance, check it out. The
That's
Navy uses them. Looks like, and probably all of the air forces or all of the aviation wings of the military.
I'm a big enthusiast of aeronautics because my son is an avionics engineer and he works on airplanes. And
Yeah, that is right.
yes, he does. So I don't know a lot of them, but I'm interested. That's like when we went on that show to see all the airplanes
Oh yeah, the air show.
at the air show. That was interesting.
Yeah, we got to see a B-17, which was cool as that could be.
Right.
Yeah, very much so.
That's the first one I ever been to.
Plane 100 years old.
That was
still flying.
fun.
That was pretty cool.
But I did live like 45 minutes to Dayton. So we were always at the Air Force Museum up in Fairborn.
Yeah.
Well,
used to
that's-
make some good stuff around. We haven't been in a long time. I'd like to see what they got in there.
Yeah, that's something I was going to say. Is maybe we should make a trip back up there this summer because I would love to go.
That'd be a fun day trip.
I would love to go. Well, it'd have to be more than a day trip because we'd have to go there. We'd have to go to the museum, and then we'd have to check out the air show because that's the one thing that I want to check out.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll make it a weekend. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I lived up there my whole life, but never went to the air show.
It's very cool. I like that air show.
Yeah, it's big. They have a lot of stuff there.
Let me see if they've got it posted up what they've got going on this year. But yeah, so while I'm researching this, I know Snowman has got some stuff he wants to talk about as far as William Thompkins.
Yes, like I said, I've been listening to the books. The one book, the Secret Space Force. This is one about the Navy that Michael Sala wrote, and then I listened to both of the autobiographies of William Thompkins, and the William Tompkins book is more him just recalling memories and conversations and things like that. But it's still pretty interesting. But the one thing that really kind of jumped out at me was one thing that was mentioned in the second book, in his second autobiography. And I had heard the conspiracy theorists and all this stuff that the moon was hollow, and then it actually was made somewhere else and brought to the earth. And he actually mentioned that in this book, that they knew that the moon was hollow and it did not belong to this planet. It was brought here and parked at some point in the past. And
so there's a theory that the moon is hollow.
That the moon is hollow, and there are people living in it, not other races.
Well, that's really out
but
there.
Yeah,
I've never heard
I had heard that before, and I said, I don't believe that. He mentions this stuff and all this. He was when he was telling this stuff was supposed to be in the late '60s. While basically he redesigned a lot of Apollo stuff, equipment and things like that to kind of get everything, because it was lowest bidder basically were the contractors, and they all had their own systems. Nothing was working, and he went in and went over everybody's head, which caused him to get fired from one of the aviation companies he worked for. And he went over their head because they had designed the third stage of the Saturn V. Well, they knew it wasn't going to work with the stuff that they were required to use, and he went to Werner von Braun and what is Dr. DeBoos, I think was his name, were basically the head of NASA at that time, and told them, said, this is not going to work. We need to redesign it. Everybody used the same thing. Well, he redesigned the whole system, and a lot of the vertical assembly building that they have in Kennedy Space Center, so they could test their rockets, because they were building the rockets laying on the side, and they were testing them. They were fine. When they stood them up, then all of a sudden they didn't work. Doesn't work right. And so they, he designed that building so they could build the rockets vertically and test them, and everything worked. And so basically he was a fairly intelligent man.
Sure.
And and he also it was even in the book. It was actually in Michael Solo's book and this book that he was in Mission Control when Neil Armstrong stepped off the lunar lander, and there were UFOs parked on the crater, on the rim of the crater that they landed in, and they said they're watching us. And he said at that point everything cut off, and they had got a voice that said, finish your 6 missions, pick up some rocks, go home, and don't come back. The moon does not belong to you.
Wow.
And supposedly, and I had heard that before, but there's no proof of it. Hell, all the NASA tapes, they erased them.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't have any of the original stuff from back in the day.
Which actually kind of plays into another conspiracy theory of where people say that we faked the moon landing because there are no original tapes.
I don't think that because there were so many people working on that.
Well, no. That but what I'm saying is like that conspiracy now makes sense why they would delete those tapes.
Well, that and seem like I said, and I don't know, who knows at that point in time, those tapes probably cost a lot of money to make, so they just reused them. Not thinking, because they had a finite amount of money, and NASA basically works on a cost plus.
Yeah.
Okay, give us a budget. Here it is. Don't go over the budget, but if you do, we'll pay for it. So these guys, they're bleeding money from the federal government to pay for all this. And I would say they probably were trying to save stuff, you know, every dollar they could. And somebody, Bobby down there said, "Well, we just reuse these tapes and be done with it." And that's where this went to. I don't believe that they lost it in a good way. Like I said, after that, and after Apollo was done, all this stuff got locked up for years. Nobody ever used it. And then all of a sudden they go in the booth, do something, and they take over the office and there's a bunch of file cabinets. I don't know what the hell's in here. And they just get rid of it. Hell, they're finding blueprints and all kinds of stuff out in the middle of people's barns, that just bought stuff in junk piles. Yeah.
Pawn Stars. People come in on Pawn
Yeah.
Stars all the time with military stuff.
So I kind of think it was some of that, and then just and from listening to those books and all the books, if the stuff that they say in the books are even remotely close to being true, we're screwed.
Yeah.
There's no if, ands, or buts about this. We are here and everybody else is controlling everything that's going on. We're an experiment, and for other alien races or whatever. And like I said, I'm not saying it is true because I don't know. I'm just reading a couple books or listening to a couple books on tape. And if, like I said, if 20% of what they're saying is true, we're screwed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it seems like that that the day-to-day lives of people on Earth, if this were true, are simply we have this false idea that we're free, but we are working for essentially higher ups in the universe.
Mhm. Well, and it's just like what's going on right now, with Russia on the border of Ukraine,
Mhm.
and then you got the China's wanting to take over Taiwan,
Right.
and then you've got our country is kind of falling apart from the inside.
Right.
And
We have no one to blame but ourselves, because that
that's what I'm saying. That could be the negative forces out here through the back channels influencing this stuff to keep us beat down. They controlling us by a war or something like that, and eventually they're going to work it around there where you have one world government.
Yeah.
And it'll be that way. You'll have one government in charge, and they'll only have, instead of every how many countries there are, instead of having people in every one of them trying to run things, they'll have one government full.
Well, and I'm kind of on the
let their own, let the humans police themselves.
I'm kind of on the border of thinking that we're already to that point. The one world government already exists.
Well, you are to a point. Your everybody's economy is based on everybody else's.
Yeah.
And you have the top dogs. You have us in China, some European countries, whatever, that have their economies out here, and they all want to be number one. Well, number one here affects number two, and and just so on and so forth, all the way down. And you basically have one world government right now.
Right.
It's all based on the dollar.
I'm having a really hard time with my lighting here. I look like a 15th century ghost child. What's happening?
Turn your contrast down.
Yeah, or turn the light down, or angle it.
It's from the monitor.
Oh, well, angle your monitor. Oh, that didn't help you.
There's your belly.
Is that better?
Yeah. Your face ain't glowing no more.
All right, so going back to this hollow moon theory, does the book ever go into detail of who brought the moon here and who might live on the moon or in the moon?
No, doesn't mention anything about who brought it here or what. It was just built and brought here.
And it's
But
still being used.
yeah, supposedly it's hollow and there's cities in it and bases on it, and like according to these books, but
That's interesting.
it's really interesting. But the way that I'm looking at the Earth, the moon and the Earth, the moon is so big that they consider it should have been a twin planet system, okay?
Mhm.
But the way the moon is situated, it stabilizes our Earth
Right.
where it doesn't wobble and do this and that. And that's why we have our seasons. That's why we have, you'll have winter, summer, all this. And
Solstice.
if you don't have, if the moon wasn't there, the planet may wobble around, or it could flip over and start rolling
Right.
in its orbit, and then you only have half the planet basically as habitable.
I'd like to know who it was and discovered the solstice and the different seasons in that.
Well,
I mean, that's crazy. It's all from stars.
well, it's the way the planet is tilted, and it goes around the sun at certain 2 points. You're going to get the same amount. You're going to have one. The winter solstice is going to be more. You're going to have more dark. That's going to be the most you're going to have dark. And on the summer solstice, that's the most light you get.
Right.
And then you've got the 2 equinoxes, which are the light and dark as the same amount of time. And that's all based on the tilt of the Earth. But if the moon wasn't there, you probably wouldn't have that, because it, like I said, over time it would wobble, it would do different things.
Right.
But if somebody brought that here and put that here to stabilize this Earth, what does that tell you? That tells me we're an experiment. This whole, it's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy all over.
Yeah.
If you ever read the book, that's what Earth was a big old computer to solve a question.
Darn, I missed that one too.
I know. They actually made it in the movie. I might find it for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's all excited. She's not a sci-fi fan. But basically that's what the book was about. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was about the Earth. They blew the Earth up. What turned out the Earth was a supercomputer trying to answer a question.
Yeah.
And we're, according to these books and all, if any of this stuff is true and that the hollow moon theory is correct and they brought that in there, this is just an experiment. That's all we are, is an experiment for something. I don't know what. I have no clue.
Well, over and over, even on the things that we've read, researched, or even Ancient Aliens even kind of touches on it a little bit. They talk about the Earth having or humanity having been played with genetically from the get-go. So it makes you wonder if
we are an experiment.
Yeah. Something I did read that I haven't got in front of me here, but I'm going to bring up for next week or next month, whenever we get to do another one, is someone had said that oxygen is actually poisoning humanity. So I'm going to read that and bring that to you. Be kind of a cool little conspiracy theory. If it's true, I don't know.
Well, you have to have too much oxygen is bad for you.
Well, I think the idea is that oxygen oxidizes everything and rusts everything down, and it kills us slowly as we go throughout our lives.
Yeah,
I think that was the premise behind it.
Y'all gonna have to hang on here. I gotta take care of this.
Never slows down.
Never slows down. He's like a drug dealer.
He's not a drug dealer, though. He's not.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. No. That was a joke. No, he's not.
Oh, gosh. Well, you all are going to get a visit tonight.
No, he reads those books and he gets into those audibles. And Mike has so much knowledge from reading all the old.
Oh, yeah.
Snowman has so much knowledge from reading all those books.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to this stuff. Um, well,
Read
I guess
about
I
the oxygen theory.
do what now?
Read your article about the oxygen theory.
Oh, I don't have it in front of me. I'll have to get
Oh,
there for the next one.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but I will touch on some. I've got like 4 or 5 articles here that I wanted to go through. But the first,
Okay.
it's not even an article, but it's just kind of a interesting point of. It's an interesting fact about Kentucky. So Middlesboro, Kentucky, we know where that's at.
Yes.
Uh, is the only city in the U.S. built in a meteor crater. It is also home to the oldest 9-hole golf course in the country and a country club. It opened in 1889. So there's your Kentucky knowledge for the day.
Hey, I've got a few that I had to get together for a job that I had one time. Kentucky has the longest number, mileage wise, of waterways in the United States, only second to Alaska.
Oh wow,
Isn't that interesting?
that
And
is
of
interesting.
course, we have the longest cave system in the world, I think. I think
Yeah,
Mammoth Cave is the longest in the world.
yeah,
And let's
you're right.
see, Bourbon County is dry and
Hmm.
Christian County is wet. Let's see, what other ones do I know? I had a whole bunch of, I had a whole list of them that I got to read off about Kentucky. Keeneland, this is an interesting fact. Keeneland was made by limestone that was quarried right there on the site.
Really?
And it's total, yeah, it's total limestone. Have you ever
Wow.
been to Keeneland?
No, I've never been to Keeneland.
Oh my God, Keeneland's beautiful.
I'm not fancy enough to go into Keeneland.
Oh, you go into the bathroom and they got the little people in there handing you the paper towels to dry your hands and stuff.
That's what I mean. I'm not fancy enough to go in there.
It's fun. You don't have
You,
to be fancy. It's
you know,
fun.
you know that guy has to be the most miserable job to wait
That's,
for someone to do their business and then come out and
he makes
hand
a
them
lot of
crap.
money because they tip him. So he
Yeah,
makes a lot of money. Obviously, it's pretty good, or something. They couldn't get somebody to do it.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, yeah, it has to be good. I'll be honest with you. That always creeped me out. I hated when there was just someone just standing in there lurking, waiting until I'm
Yeah,
done
that does
using the
kind of.
bathroom.
Yeah, that is kind of
A little
weird.
weird. It's a little weird.
It is a
Uh,
little weird.
dude, seriously, go sit down. But but yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Middlesboro is in Kentucky is the only city in the United States that was built inside of a meteor crater.
I
That's
know
pretty
that is
neat.
interesting. It's very interesting.
Which I was just in Middlesboro not long ago, and but it was at night, so I didn't get to drive. I didn't get to really see the surrounding landscapes. But I do remember driving down into the mount or into the town, and then having to drive back up and out.
Yeah,
I just thought it was, you know,
that is interesting.
hills, but I guess it is where it is. All righty, so I guess we can jump into some of these articles that I've got.
The snowman's coming back.
Okay, I'm back. That was work.
Never slows down.
Never slows down.
Yeah, Large Marge said you were a drug dealer.
I'm a drug dealer.
Hmm.
And then we said, no, you're not. It was a joke.
Oh,
So
okay.
we don't want to hear, we don't want bad emails coming in.
No. Nobody.
Well, I'd be more worried about the DEA swooping in on you up there.
I got enough bad juju going on. I don't need no
Yeah,
more.
we don't need no bad juju.
So the thing that I just read there, Snowman, was Middlesboro is the only city in the United States that was built inside of a meteor crater.
Yeah. I thought there was another one.
According to that, it's not.
I was thinking there was one out west. That was in a crater, but I knew Middlesboro was built in a crater.
Apparently, it's the only one.
Well,
All right, so I'm going to jump into some of these articles that I've got. So, a time travel bombshell. A multi-dimensional time traveler saw a great war in the future. A great war between aliens and mankind will happen in the future, an alleged time traveler has sensationally claimed. And this article is from a couple years ago, so it may have been knocked out by now, but just giving you a heads up. Self-proclaimed time traveler Jason Quitt discussed the horrors of witnessing a great war between alien races, forcing mankind to change the world order. Quitt also reported encountering a technologically advanced city where inhabitants could communicate with one another and even objects telepathically. The self-proclaimed multi-dimensional time traveler made the startling revelation in this week's um, radio show. I'm not sure if any of our listeners have heard of this radio show, but it's a very good radio show. If you haven't heard of it, you need to check it out. Coast to Coast AM, very good radio show. It was very cool, especially when Art Bell, the late great Art Bell, was on. Um, Quitt said these people that lived in that time, it was almost like they were integrated with an artificial intelligence. Now, going back to some of the stuff we've learned on these books about the great AI uh, threat that threatens mankind, they're talking about, a signal that's supposed to be coming in, and that that humanity will be integrated with AI. Jason Quitt is saying these people that lived in that time, it was almost like they were integrated with an artificial intelligence.
Well, and that's like I said, that's what they said with the books. That signal would actually integrate with your cells.
Hmm.
You didn't have to have something that would in you that would pick it up.
Right.
It could, certain people would just be more attuned to it to pick that up, and it could take them over.
Yep. And he also added that the form of government was an artificial intelligence presence tapped into every person on the planet. However, he
Well,
refused.
and that's something else too. You know, they're experimenting with these AIs right now, and they may program some, whatever they've got, saying, we're trying to better humanity or whatever, and we lose control real fast.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah, very much so. However, he refused to go into further detail as it is as the worst experience I ever had, and it was like going to hell and back, literally. He said, "What see in a war zone is not what you see in the movies. It is very different, and it hurts you to see those things." Um, let's see here. When you come back, sort of shell shocked, and you don't know how to express that because it sticks with you. Quitt, who claims he has experienced the past, the present, and the future, does not believe he is able to change the future and consequently create a paradox. He said, I've always been an observer in these future timelines, but because when you leave the physical plane and you enter a place outside of time and space, um, in a sense, we are altering time by reincarnating back into previous timelines and evolving from there. The American media personality who has a major online following does not claim to physically travel through time, instead insisting that he has the control to leave his body. I have no idea where I'm going or if I'm even going to retain that memory. If I even try to influence the experience, I wake up. So it's like an out of body experience for him. So is he actually time traveling, or is he being forced to time travel? It's a question.
don't know.
That's Jason Quitt. Everybody, it's Quitt. So if you want to research him, check him out. Iranian revelation: U.S. run by space aliens. I would believe that. This article comes to us from January 14th of 2014. A surprising report from the Iranian news agency Fars News claims that the U.S. government has been secretly run since 1945 by space aliens who previously ran Nazi Germany. Again, going back to these books, all of this stuff was said in these books. And now we're starting to see articles coming about it, and people are starting to talk about it a little bit. The Iranian article claims that the source of the information comes from Edward Snowden, who reportedly shared it with Russia's Federal Security Service. More at the Washington Post and from Michael Sala during the first hour of the 1:14:14 show that this was on. So of course Michael Sala was a guest on this show. They're talking about this. So, and Michael Sala is the guy who wrote these books that we've been listening to.
He turned his lights off.
Yeah, did you turn your lights off or something?
Yeah, I didn't want to look like a Victorian ghost child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to turn them back on?
No.
No, we just noticed.
Yeah.
Is it better?
No.
Worse? You can see my face now?
See back there. Ah! Pee Wee Herman. Ah!
Yeah.
Ah!
I'm going to save this one for last. But all right, so here is another time traveler. Time traveler claims terrifying alien discovery will be made in August. This one, it comes for us from January of this year. The TikToker who prefers to remain anonymous claims to be from the future and has kindly shared a list of important dates for us this year. The TikTok video uploaded by Past Time Travel has gone viral and is captioned, "Remember these dates." In the clip, they wrote, "I have been thought of as a fake time traveler, but I can prove that I'm not. Remember these dates, or these 3 dates, and I can prove that I'm real." They continued, March 15, 2022, a volcano erupts and creates an ash cloud around half the world. January
That's coming
28th,
up.
do what?
That's coming up.
Yep. Yeah, it
March
is.
15th.
January 28, 2022, a plane goes missing for a month and returns, but everyone on the plane says it was only 3 hours. That sounds like the movie Manifest or the show Manifest, but we'll see.
Yeah.
August 2nd, 2022, we make contact with an underground civilization. Pretty sure that's already happened, though.
I haven't heard of any of those.
I hadn't heard of that.
Well, no, you're not going to hear about it. They're just talking about the books.
Oh,
You
yeah,
say they're going to happen.
yeah.
But the January one should have already happened, right?
No, the closest one is going to be March 28th. That's going to be the volcano.
Well, no, you said there was
No,
a
January
plane that was going to be missing for a month.
Yeah, that's in June.
Oh, you said January.
June.
No, the article's from January.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
You said,
All right.
yeah, okay, never mind.
You guys are killing me.
No, you weren't very clear.
What?
Hey, I thought of another Kentucky. Tidbit.
What is it?
Abraham Lincoln
Uh-huh.
and Jefferson Davis
Uh-huh.
were both born in Kentucky in log cabins 100 miles apart.
See, Kentucky should be ruling the world.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Whatever way you look at it, the
Dan
clip
did.
uploaded. Do what now?
Look what all my Uncle Dan did.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, if you don't know who her Uncle Dan is, it is the great Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone, yes. It's my great uncle.
So whatever way you look at it, the clip uploaded on December 27th racked up 3.3 million views, 249,400 likes. It caused a huge debate in the comments section. One user sarcastically wrote, "Okay, let me just write those, or let me just," and then write notes emoji. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what emojis are. I know what they are, but I don't understand them half the time. A second slammed, "Your last 10 predictions never happened. Why should I believe you this time?" Another added, "If this happens, I never blame you because this is a warning, not a threat." Someone who commented on New Year's Eve wrote, "Later at midnight, everyone will fire fireworks." So the thing is, everyone has just been super sarcastic to this guy, but these are predictions, and however likely or unlikely they are, it I don't know. People on the internet are assholes anymore.
Yep.
You know what? And you know what that boils down to is years ago when we didn't have the internet, if you had a problem with someone, you talked shit about them behind their back. You just fought about it. You literally physically fought. Now you don't have to because of the internet. You could be thousands of miles apart, and what are you gonna do? You just go run that mouth. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
So, you people on the internet, you better hope that the internet never goes down because then you will have to be out in the real world when fists hurts a lot more than words.
That's right.
Yes. Well,
Preach it.
here's the thing, and that's back, when the internet first come out, and what was that damn before Facebook?
MySpace.
MySpace, the greatest the greatest social media platform ever.
That was the devil.
It was
It
Facebook is the devil.
started, well,
It started it.
it's just evolved. Okay, it is. People don't have responsibility for what they say.
No, people don't.
That's the big, you know, they don't. And you know, and then, then here again,
Well, that's our First Amendment.
you got the big tech companies now shutting some people down
Yeah,
and letting others. But I'm sorry that if you're going
Which
to have a
that's wrong.
platform like that, then it should be free speech according to our constitutional laws, and let the chips fall where they may.
That's right.
You
I
know,
agree. I agree.
that shouldn't be a one-sided. Don't put it on there where let's all get together, go out here and kill somebody. No, that stuff needs to be policed. But if somebody's got an opinion, they need to be able to express it, and that's it. And
I
leave it
agree.
be.
Well, they are on liberal platform,
Well, and that's that, and that's that. But like I said,
not
that should
conservative
that shouldn't be.
speech.
We have
Conservative speech has been
our Bill of
muzzled.
Rights gives us freedom of speech, and that they should have to, even though it is a private company, they are giving people a platform to voice their opinions. They shouldn't censor that, and that that's all I will say about that. It's just
I agree. But what I will say is the Paranormal Trucker is not a political talk show, and we will not be going into that crap. However, what I will say is,
and I'm sorry if I went on a rant. I've gone on rants before.
Need to learn that we have a First Amendment right, and if you are going to put a platform out there where everyone can use it, you need to let everyone use it.
Yeah,
You're going to
exactly.
censor everyone because you don't agree with their opinion. That's not, we the people should boycott your product.
That's it. I think that's wrong too. That's
what I will never buy Pearl Milling Company ever. Period.
Just because they changed the name because they give in to the woke mob saying Aunt Jemima was racist. I'm sorry. Aunt Jemima makes some damn good
Aunt
cereal.
Jemima's family is they're pissed off. I mean, they like that legacy.
And now they changed it
there really was an Aunt Jemima.
Yes, because you got a small number of people running their mouth, and what did I always tell you kids? The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
Well, they're squeaking.
Squeaking loud.
They're squeaking loud, and they're just giving everything, and they should not be.
You're right, but here's my point. And what did I always say every time you said squeaky wheel gets the grease? I said that will annoy those people. I do not want to do that. And then look here, it's annoyed you. It's annoyed me. It's annoyed large and large. My point's proven. Your point's proven. Let's move on.
Yeah,
let's move on.
Yeah, let's because this could go downhill.
Yeah. This goes nowhere good. All right, so everybody knows that I am obsessed with the MH370 disaster, tragedy, disappearance, whatever you want to call it. So this comes from back when there was like conspiracy theories going nuts about the plane and the people on it and all that. So a creepy military voicemail warning of impending doomsday sends the internet into meltdown. An ominous voicemail in military code sent to a random Twitter user's phone has sparked fear and paranoia over links to MH370, alien life, and a doomsday date. So let's see here. A terrifying voicemail in military code sent to a random Twitter user's phone has sent the internet into meltdown, and users speculate over its links to MH370, alien life, and impending doomsday date. It appears to have started with Ty, an ordinary Twitter user with no apparent prior interest in any of those topics and the conspiracy theories that inevitably accompany any discussion of them. On March 13th, Ty posted a recording of a creepy voicemail message he received on his mobile phone and asked for help translating it. Since then, it has received more than 7 million views and hatched a dozen conspiracy theories, earning Ty more than 40,000 extra followers. Okay, so here's what I see in right out of the gate. These articles, they before you even get to the meat and the potatoes of the article, that tells you how many followers, how many likes, and how many comments or whatever that these social media platforms are giving out for this content.
Mhm.
I have an issue with that because it's not. We're 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 incentivizing people to make up or exaggerate the truth in such a way only to get views and likes. In fact, not about a month ago, a YouTuber uh, supposedly, and I've watched the YouTube video, and it does look like he crashed his plane on purpose. Um, Crashed his plane simply for views and likes. So he's under investigation of the FAA and NTSB. Hopefully, if he did crash his plane on purpose, he gets the full long arm of the law on that one. Because, however, I mean, if you jump out of a perfectly good working airplane, it could smash into anyone or anything. Wildfires. This has happened in California where wildfires are an issue. So if that is the case, I hope they I hope they really get after it. Uh, so let's see. He's getting death threats, and he had to change his handle. The bizarre voicemail features a robotic voice droning out an automated message entirely in NATO phonetic alphabet deciphered. It reads: S danger SOS. It is dire for you to evacuate. Be cautioned, they are not human. 0429 SOS danger SOS. Now, it literally translates to danger SOS. It is dire for you to evacuate. Be cautious, they are not human. And it gives the coordinates. I'm throwing the phone away. This is what Ty is saying. Uh, Now, the someone actually did decipher this. It's a continuous loop. It's not a message set to play once and goes to voicemail. Uh, it is a set of coordinates, and where those coordinates are um, was very close to where Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 vanished from radar, leading to speculation the voicemail was a recording of the doomed plane's encounter with an alien craft. Are you saying that Malaysia Flight 370 encountered something non human? Ask a user. He responded, it's a police code. It says danger SOS is dire for you to evacuate. Ty also posted unsettling direct messages he had received on his Twitter account, one in Indonesian, another in Malay, a couple in Morse code, and one which appeared to be giving groupings of numbers 20.8.5.25, 1.18.15, or 1.18.5, 20.1, then it goes on. Then the Indonesian message, when run through Google Translate, turned out to be a warning in the post you just shared about the recording on your phone. Thoughts?
I don't know. I just, could be something, but I'm not there.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, definitely weird. But like I said, I'm obsessed with MH370. Anything MH370 related. So if any of our listeners have any good MH370 stuff that I've not talked
What
about,
is MH370?
The
the
Malaysian
Malaysian
Oh,
Air.
yeah,
and they
So
they, they found parts of it in Madagascar
right.
that floated over, so it crashed in the ocean.
Right. That's the one that went on the erratic path.
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, it made a couple of turns and
Weird
then kind
turns
of
and
disappeared
shit.
because it went so far out in the ocean. They didn't have
So
radar.
if anyone has any MH370 stuff that I'm not touched on, please send it my way because I love talking about it. It's a terrible tragedy, nonetheless. However, I am obsessed with finding out what happened to this aircraft. Okay, so going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, the Centerpoint Energy Dayton Air Show, which is coming up in July 30th and 31st of 2022. Its featured performers are the Navy Blue Angels. Going to have, of course, the U.S. Marine Corps C-130, known as Fat Albert. You will also have, and this one I'm excited for, the U.S. Air Force F-16 Viper demo team. I've never seen those. You will have the U.S. Army Golden Knights, which we've seen. And you will have Tora Tora Tora, the Pearl Harbor reenactment, which is a pretty good show. I've seen that before. You'll have Kevin Coleman and his acrobatic aircraft. Of course, legendary air show announcer Rob Ryder will be there. And air show announcer Danny Chisholm will be there. Hall of Famer Danny Chisholm brings his talents and Centerpoint Energy Dayton Air Show announcing his team. So I'm looking forward to that. And I sent them a message while we were doing our podcast to see if they will allow us to podcast from the show. I doubt it. I'm almost fairly certain that they will not allow us to take pictures and post them and do whatever there. But if they do, it'd be kind of cool.
I wonder if they have camping there.
I don't think they do because it is actually on the Dayton. They actually close an active runway down, and you're sitting on the tarmac, for the show.
But it's a very good show. They
It
always
is.
put a good one.
Yeah.
We've been times.
Now, what I will say is there are probably campgrounds close to it that you guys could probably take your camper.
Mhm.
No, I just thought maybe it'd be like the races where you can camp right there.
No, it's they basically, well, the first couple times we went, they park you about a mile away and you have to walk in. And I think the last time we went, we got the VIP tickets and they put us on a bus and drove us up and let us off at our seat. So
Yeah, we're definitely doing VIP again because I'm not walking.
Yeah.
I don't walk.
No, neither does Kent or
March.
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 Neither
Don't
does
walk.
March. I don't walk. I drive everywhere.
That's right. Me too.
Oh,
All right, we're coming up on an hour, so I think that's probably going to be our time for the night. Again, we're going to try to do these every week. However, don't hold your breath. It has been hectic as far as work schedules go, and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Hopefully, it will be next week, and we'll get you took care of. Now, this message goes to Firewater. Firewater, I'm going to send you an email later, either this evening or later this week. If everything goes well, we would like to have you as a guest on next week. So that is for you, sir. And I will, like I said, message you and kind of give you the details later next week, and we'll go from there.
come and join our party.
That's right.
Yeah, we're excited to have you, and we'll sure be on top of it. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this week, for tonight. Wow, we talked about a lot.
We did talk
Mhm.
about a lot.
You guys got any closing statements? Any comments, concerns, confessions?
I
No.
confess nothing.
Yeah.
Plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
All right.
No, we
We're hoping for some better weather.
yeah. Then
Yeah, it's really
got
kind
some
of kicked our asses this year.
kind of good news for us. So, hopefully things are going to change here over the next year and be a little more convenient for us.
Yes.
You want to share the good news, or you want to just tease it?
Nah, we're in the process of replacing our house with another.
All right.
And we're excited. We got
We're-
a big, beautiful new home coming.
Yeah,
so-
well, and the cool thing is once it gets here, we'll actually have a setup studio where we can we can have everything set up in there and just go
Yes.
down there and sit down and do
Yes.
the show.
Well, that's my ultimate goal here too, but we've not made it to that point yet. But yeah, that'd be cool to have a studio set up.
Yes. And then, just like I said, that way, because right now, Lord mercy, you ought to see our rig that we've got going on here. I've got my tablet mounted to the back of a chair with a chip clip and my microphone sitting on the seat. And then we got our poster here is in between us on
on the couch.
couch. So
Oh, you mean that's not permanently mounted, that poster? It just looks so professional.
No,
There.
it's not permanently mounted.
But like I said, when we had the studio, it will have a prominent place on the
It
wall.
will have a prominent place.
Yeah.
When our little studio.
So, man, I may need to get you to come over one day and help me with my studio setup, since you know all that fancy stuff.
Okay.
And by fancy stuff, I mean help me hang stuff on the wall, because if not, I'll put a hole in sheetrock.
Okay.
I don't have
And
gentle
then
knees.
really cool stuff. It's called command strips. You can get them at the dollar store. You just put them up there and let them sit for a few minutes and hang your stuff on it. You're good.
Well,
Yes.
and that would be terrific. That
when
would
you
be
get
okay
into
if I was
the
planning on doing that, but the
yeah,
plan is to line all the walls with that soundproof stuff. So,
okay.
yeah.
Well, there again, we use the command strips. That way, when you go pull it off, you ain't damaging the wall.
That's right.
Okay. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. We will see you guys next week, next month, next year. Sometime we will be back, I promise. This is not the last episode. You just have to bear with
Right.
us. Of course, like I said, it has been very hectic for us here, and we are doing our very, very level best to get content out to you as quickly as we can. It just, we have to work. That's our jobs, and that's what we have to do. But with that being said, until next time, keep the shiny side up, stay between the lines. Uh, Anytime somebody gives you the old honk the horn, do it.
I remind you something. Next Sunday is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So we need to kind of adjust our schedule, either do it on Saturday or earlier on Sunday. Just so we can watch, because that we kind of got some Bengals fans here.
All right. Well, no big deal. We'll adjust it and we'll get it figured out. But please like, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you got to do. But please hit that notification bell. It helps more than you know. That'll let you know when we drop another episode, so that you can, be in touch with us, because we're kind of cool. We know you guys love us. But anyway, that's going to do it for us for tonight. If you have any kind of stories or any kind of information that you want to share with us, paranormaltrucker@yahoo.com. I still haven't got our website set up.
Email us.
That is going to be one of my big priorities for springtime, that I'm going to get our webpage set up and going. But yes, you can contact us, paranormaltrucker@yahoo.com. You can also send us a message on our Facebook page.
And you can also contact snowman.theparanormaltrucker@yahoo.com.
That's snowman.theparanormaltrucker@yahoo.com. Now, does Large Marge have one?
No,
We'll have to set her one up.
we'll have to set me one up.
All righty. Well, that's going to do it for us. We obviously have
Okay.
quite a bit of stuff we need to work on to get everything lined out. So we'll get started on that, and we will talk to you guys later.
And tell them Large Marge sent you.
Bye.